Right now, at some point while you're watching this, you're going to feel the urge to check your phone. Maybe you already have. The average person picks up their phone around 144 times a day. You'll tell yourself it's just for a second, just to see if anything's new. But that pull you just felt wasn't random, and it definitely wasn't your idea. Somebody designed it. And they didn't design it for you. They designed it for a machine that used to sit in a casino. In the 1950s, a psychologist at Harvard ran an experiment with pigeons and a small box. He'd press a lever, and sometimes a pellet of food would drop. Not every time. Not on any schedule the pigeon could predict. Just sometimes. His name was B.F. Skinner, and what he discovered would end up shaping the device sitting in your pocket right now. He found that when a reward comes at unpredictable intervals, the behavior that earns it doesn't fade. It gets stronger. The pigeons didn't peck constantly because they were guaranteed food. They pecked constantly because they weren't. Skinner called it variable ratio reinforcement. Casinos would later call it a slot machine. Think about it in terms of survival. If you're an animal in the wild, checking a bush for berries and sometimes finding them is a good strategy. Uncertainty keeps you searching. But you're not foraging for berries anymore. You're foraging for a notification. And the two feel exactly the same to your brain. In 2012, an anthropologist named Natasha Dow Schull published a book called Addiction by Design. After 15 years of studying slot machine players in Las Vegas, what she found wasn't gambling in the way people usually imagine it. Most of the players she interviewed weren't trying to win money. They were chasing a state she called the machine zone, a kind of trance where time disappears, and nothing exists except the next pull. The machines are engineered for this. Modern slot machines run on near-miss algorithms. Spins that land one symbol away from the jackpot far more often than random chance would allow. A near miss isn't a loss. To your brain, it reads like almost winning. And almost winning is more compelling than actually winning would be. The casino floor was a laboratory for exactly one question. How do you keep a human being pulling a lever for 6 hours straight? By the 2000s, that question had an answer. And that answer left Las Vegas. Around 2009, a developer named Loren Brichter was building an app called Tweety. He needed a way to refresh a feed, so he designed a simple gesture. Pull down, and the screen resists slightly before snapping back to load new content. It's called pull to refresh. And if you've used a phone in the last 15 years, your thumb knows the motion by heart. Brichter has since said, in interviews, that he regrets ever making it. Because the resistance then release of that gesture behaves exactly like the pull then spin of a slot machine lever. You don't know if new content is there. You pull anyway, just to check. That same year, a designer named Asa Raskin invented something else. The infinite scroll. No more page 2. No more load more button to click. Just an endless feed that refills itself before you ever reach the bottom. Raskin has said publicly that he never anticipated how much time it would end up costing people, and that if he had, he might not have built it. Two of the most common gestures on your phone right now were each built by one person in 1 year. And both of those people later said the same thing. They wish they hadn't. But the deepest layer isn't the gesture. It's the number. In 2009, Facebook rolled out the like button. A small red count that ticks upward every time someone approves of something you posted. Sean Parker, Facebook's first president, said in 2017 that the platform was built specifically to exploit a vulnerability in human psychology, the need for social validation. He said the people who built it, including himself, understood exactly what they were doing, and did it anyway. That red number isn't neutral. Red is the color your visual system is evolutionarily wired to notice first, which is exactly why the notification badge is red and not blue or gray. Former Google design ethicist Tristan Harris has said that a small team of designers, sitting in a room, deciding how a badge should look, ends up shaping the daily behavior of over 1 billion people. Not a government. Not a law. A design meeting. Harris later said he started keeping his own phone screen in grayscale, on purpose. Without color, the urge to check it dropped noticeably, almost overnight. Here's the part that makes it deliberate rather than accidental. None of these apps make money when you close them. They make money from something called the attention economy. A business model where your time on screen is the product being sold to advertisers. Every extra minute of your attention is revenue for someone else. A near miss on a slot machine keeps you in the machine zone. A red notification badge keeps you in the phone. The incentive on both sides of that screen is identical. Keep the human being from putting it down. Picture it like this. A conference room, sometime in the last 15 years. On one side of the table, engineers with data on how long people stare at a feed before scrolling again. On the other side, the same kind of behavioral research that used to sit inside a casino's design department, just wearing a different badge. Nobody in that room needs to be a villain for the outcome to be the same. They just need to be very good at their job. So here's the full picture. In 1950, a psychologist proved that unpredictable rewards create the strongest compulsion an animal can have. In the 1990s, casino designers built machines around that exact principle, engineered down to the algorithm. In the 2000s, the people who understood that principle best went to work for the companies building the device in your pocket. You didn't lose a staring contest with your own willpower. You were playing a game built by people who spent decades studying exactly how to make sure you'd keep playing. The pigeon in Skinner's box never knew why it kept pressing the lever. You at least get to know why you keep picking up the phone, whether that changes anything the next time it buzzes. That's the part they're still testing.